my bank, and my bank always bust. Yeah, my bank will bust, and you mad for what? Probably cause you ain't get stuffed. Hush K, they hate what I make, but they fake, so I look the other way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Tending Bike Show. And I am here with Royal Flush. Why don't you introduce yourself, even though I just said your fucking name, anyways?
Yo, it's Royal Flush, gang, skirt. I feel like this interview was kind of long, a while in the making. It just never occurred.
I feel like now I might be the good time now.
Yeah, especially because the shit that's happened since then.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into the early days of Royal Flush, the origins. What were the origins of Royal Flush?
Boy, oh boy, the origins. So what happened was, my story, the reason why I'm called it is because it was like an inside joke where in something happened and some part of the house was like flooded a bit and all that. I think it might have been the cause of me, and it was kind of like Royal Flush just as a little joke. So it actually, the name itself actually has a backstory. It was a really wild story, but then how it really started. So it kind of started when I've been watching Brad since like 2018, and I remember his reaction to Infection. I think that my introductions to Flex was in the case of Brad and also a little bit of Tommy Craze, but a lot of people also say
Yeah,
that.
mine was like Hip Hop HQ, and then the reactions that came from other people like Brandon Rashad or Tommy Craze.
Probably that too, yeah. And oh, like, do you want? No, no, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I found Flex. But anyways, continue.
But yeah, and then I would eventually start as like, what if my rap name was just that little inside joke? So yeah, Royal Flush just became this persona, this rap name I made up.
All right, so the Preflex projects. What was the first one? I actually don't
The
even.
first
I
one
don't
was
even know.
called "What the fuck am I doing?"
And basically, it's just you making a bunch of like random shit, and you're literally asking the question, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Yeah, that album was definitely something. It I even though it was made in like a month, but doesn't mean like the whole month was made for it. I just randomly just started making it at some point. The album came out in July 31st, 2020, so it was like mostly made in that July. And I just stole a bunch of like really like shitty meme beats on YouTube, just put everything together. It was kind of at the time I didn't really give a shit about quality, so I just straight up just made a bunch of bullshit, pretty abrasive and almost noisy album. It's very loud, especially due to some of the songs. My vocals are a lot louder than the beat. It was kind of just me just throwing shit at the wall and just purposely making bad music.
Yeah. So what was that? So what was it after that? I know you got like the YouTube thing as well, like kind of like what Beetlebat, you know.
Yeah, like Robin Arrow, my main channel, obviously that was made before like Royal Flush was even a thing. That was just for, my main channel. That's just what my main channel is. I did drop it on my main channel. I made the Royal Flush second account after though. That's why it's on my Robin Arrow channel. With amazing songs like Crunchwrap Supreme, Tokyo Girl, and Offensive Jokes Alert.
Yeah. So then I'm pretty sure you have this other EP before Flex. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure you had something.
No one remembers. This is a fucking nincompoop EP. And that that EP was kind of more or less the same, and it sounds like it sounds like it would be a deluxe on that album, but the problem was it came out in like early 2022. It was completely like just right before I got active in the Flex server, and yeah, that EP has some really interesting songs like I'm 14 and This Is Deep, Still Vibing, and Papa John's, and it's just a stupid fucking like Tom McDonald acapella.
Yeah. So
It's so dumb.
so then So you explain how you found Flex, but how'd you get signed to Flex?
How I got signed was actually probably what's going in the next segment. I started like getting active. Apparently, my first message was in like fall 2021, which I don't remember, but like January, February 2022 is when I actually was active and kind of wanted to do something to get signed and interact with all the people. How I got signed though took me like a month or so. Was from Tom's White Knights of all things.
Oh,
Yep,
I think I've touched on Tom's White Knights and
I could
yeah,
talk about it though.
yeah. I've touched on Tom's White Knights and Twisted's interview and Snoozy's interview, but well when we talked about on Twisted's interview, it hadn't released yet. When I did Snoozy's, Rabbit Hogs, it was out. But I don't know. Like, what was your experience in Tom's White Knights? Because Twisted, Rabbit Hog, they all explained theirs.
Yeah, I feel like we all kind of have our each individual experience with it. Um, it was started out like I think me and Twisted were making some Tom McDonald jokes. It's probably Snoozy as well, and we just decided like, what if we just made this stupid group about that certain type of like music, and we did. The first single being Red, White, and Blue. Uh, not really a good song, but and then we just started just making more songs until eventually became an album. But Twisted's was definitely in on it the most. Snoozy's was not in it. Was definitely in
Yeah,
it the least.
he was. Yeah, definitely. He definitely
He
was in
did
it the
explain
least.
that he never wanted it to be an album, and yeah. But how it was for me, it was. I will admit, like as bad as the album is, the first couple of songs I actually did have a fun time making like that, and American Power and all that. But once we were like halfway through the album, I kind of started like was thinking to myself, wait a minute, this is actually not that good. This is actually pretty shit. But I was at the time like, we're too far in to quit, and that's it. By the end of it, I was definitely done with it because especially the fact that Twisted kind of did all the promo. Me and Snoozy did none of it. We just kind of just let it release because the album also had quite a lot of controversy before it. The weird promotion, the $15 thing, and
Oh yeah,
uh, that was around the time when people did not like Twisted and all
yeah,
that. The album was just doomed from the start, and people didn't like it. I think the person who liked it the most was Beetlebat at the time, but
yeah.
yeah,
I think
it was.
so.
Yeah, it caused a lot of controversy in the album. Yeah, it's really bad. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. It's fucking terrible. Beats bad, lyrics. It's just not funny. It's really shit. Don't listen to it.
Yeah. Now, personally, I would have said you probably could have left it at like American Power, and
If we, if it was like a whole project, it should have just been an EP.
yeah, I was gonna ask you like if you would have preferred to like when you were halfway through like would you prefer for it to be like an EP and just like scrap like some of the other stuff that were like not unfinished or like I don't know what I'm trying to say like would you have
I changed it.
yeah basically
If it was up to me, Snoozy probably would have just wanted made like one or two songs and that's it. Twisted definitely wanted an album. I kind of would have wanted in the middle where like it would be all right if it was just kind of like a 6 song EP and all that. But I think as it went on, it just got worse. Especially the songs got worse, and like especially when we made like Backwoods Legit when we were dead ass submitting that for Volume 4. I think it had a chance of being on it. God, that would have been the worst fucking song on Volume 4.
I remember I think a few weeks ago Mosquito Wind posted like an old track list and I think it actually was on there.
Yeah. At the time, I wanted to, but my Volume 4 submissions were pretty dog shit. They're not good, and I guess, but relative to now, I'm glad it wasn't because that would have not been a good idea. And I knew at the Tom's White Nights, the album, I was like, I'm not, I'm done with Tom's White Nights. I'm just done making the Tom McDonald type music. Well, we'll get to later, but I kind of brought that back a little bit.
Oh yeah. So next we got your debut album. Actually, I guess second debut. I don't know, cause it says what the fuck
It's
am I?
my first album under Flex.
I guess I don't know if we want to count what the fuck am I doing, but
I mean, it kind of was an album. It technically is my second, but it's my first under Flex.
all right, we'll just say fucking call this the debut album, Splash of Royalty, first Flex albums. Yeah, that dropped. What was the process of making the album like?
So after Tom's White Nights, I was like, man, what am I doing, man? I just felt like I had way more to offer, and I feel like that was not a good start. I feel like didn't really have a good start because literally the only things I had out was Tom's White Nights and Sewer Slide Anthem. That's like at the time that's all I had.
Yeah, the
And
because I'm pretty sure Tons White Nights. If I remember correctly, it came out like a few weeks before Splash of Royalty.
oh no, Special Royalty came out in November.
Oh no! Oh
Land of
yeah,
the
it did come out in November. Yeah,
Yeah, Land of the Free came out in like early September.
yeah,
But
I forgot that it came out. I thought it also came out in
so
September
yeah,
for some reason.
Splash of Royalty, well, Sewer Slide Anthem was the first song made, and Splash of Royalty was kind of like, let me just like actually do what I can do. Let me actually try to make songs that it kind of had a balance of like goofiness, but also like me trying to make more. I won't say serious, but like a taken seriously vibe on songs like Down the Drain and My Time and In the Atmosphere. uh, Fun fact, I don't think everyone knows this. For the longest time, that album was going to be called The Clogging.
The clogging.
And then I just kind of like, I was like, that's dog shit. And it was like something in Fabulous or like Fabulous or Rich or whatever. And I was like, this is fucking terrible. And then I just kind of thought like something about royalty. And it was like, Splash of Royalty. I was like, wait a minute. That works. Screw it. And yeah, I made that album. Um, so it came out in November. I say it was mostly made in a couple months. I say around from like summer to the fall, mostly was when the album was like completed. And the reaction of it was meant actually with some more positive than negative, but I feel like after a while, I think the album is just kind of okay. There's some songs I don't think has aged well, especially Homies. Uh, I Love
Homies.
Paper was I Love Paper is not good. And yeah, I think the best songs I probably would say would be Down the Drain, In the Atmosphere. For some reason Roblox farts starting to grow on me, but it's not one of the best ones. I would say Doo-Wop Freestyle. Some
All
of the
right.
songs do get memed on like Royalty, which was the only beat was made by a Flex producer, our good old buddy on pal Flex Suga.
Flexuga, Fluga.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck happened to him.
I don't know. It was kind of weird, and he was also like a literal child.
Yeah, like we dead as I don't think we dead as heard from him since 2022.
No, I just know there was some like diss tracks being made, especially with him and Top Hat. It was kind of like a whole weird mess.
All right, but I want to get into this. There's a there's something very infamous about Splash of
Oh wait,
Royalty.
I'm sorry. I'm
The
sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but like one thing I want to touch on was your feature on Badass Bitch. Fun fact,
Oh yeah, badass
yeah,
bitch.
fun. That was probably like the first big thing from me at Flex at the time because I heard about you like you with your music and all that. And the only reason why I was even featured was I was in a random call with some other people. He was making the track list, and then I was like, you was like, oh, whoever's in the call is going to feature on it. So essentially, I was at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, I had the beats because Lil Squeaky executively produced like the album. Like, he did like all the beats to it, and I had some names, and then there's some names I couldn't think of, so he went and just like picked out some names like the rest of the names for the songs. I went with it, and then also
Mm.
some features, and then one of the songs was "Baddest Bitch," and the feature was "Real Flush."
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that was all. I'm pretty sure that was a sex tape type squeaky beat.
Yeah, some of them were originally squeaky beats from like some other projects, like the Sex Tape or Situation.
Mm. Yeah,
I think Draco Dancing could have been either based Rockstar or it's just different.
yeah.
One of those.
Wait, what were you saying about something about Splash Royalty?
Yeah, the most infamous part of Splash Royalty is actually not the album itself, but the cover art. I think you know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Mr. Jorge de Guzman just ruined my whole album because he kept making fun of those shitty ass blue pants. That that album cover kind of got ruined because of it, because it does look a little weird on the album cover. I think it was also nominated for nominated for best drip section, which is hilarious. And also for some reason my album was nominated for album of the year. Obviously it didn't win because of volume 4, but I was like, damn, like, I'm on this. Interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, the pants. So then we're going into to 2023. Um, we
I
get
know what's next.
all right. We get the single. The infamous single, "Sky High."
Sky high, sky fucking high. Fun. Um, how that song was made. Where I remember I kind of started getting into my cloud rap phase and like Lil B and all that, and I was like looking through some beats, and I was like, wait a minute, this hat kind of hits hard, and I listened to it while I was pretty freaking high, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually just make a song while high. I never did it before. Well, I made some freestyles, but they're not released. And I recorded it. I'm not gonna lie to you, high when I was making that shit high, I thought shit was hard. and then and then I sent it in the main channel. It was not received well. That song was got memed a lot. It's probably my worst like reviewed song, like my worst rated like material solo material. It's it's not that good, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it's a little overhated. I know Squeaky liked it the most out of anybody, but yeah, that shit was not received well, especially in the premiere call.
Yeah. Also, I'm just reading this. I'm just reading your wiki thing. I just I'm just like Royal Flush is also a terrible junkie in all caps. He has been smoking weed all week and it's annoying. Oh my god. I have a feeling I think I know who wrote that.
Who do you think wrote it?
I'm pretty sure that was Rabbit Hog.
It's either Rabbit Hog or Mosquito, but I think it's freaking Rabbit Hog, that motherfucker.
And then it says he often joins calls to say he's gonna fart and then leaves.
Oh yeah, I used to do some dumb shit in the calls. I still do it sometimes. It's just funny.
Yeah,
But
so then we got the shit. What was after Sky High? He had an EP, I think.
well, before I get to that, we oh, there was Junkie Haircut, which nobody remembers that song. And then there was oh, Body Fuel Cipher. That was kind of big at the time.
Oh yeah, Body
And
Fuel.
it's that started out as me. So I don't know if anyone knows this server. I forgot what it was called. It was these like super lyrical, spiritual like rap server,
Ah, Little
and we kind of
Garfield.
I forgot which server it was called. That's so bad. But
I just know one of the members, and I'm pretty sure his name was Little Garfield, not Young
oh, and
Garfield.
there was what the fuck was this guy's name? I'm gonna actually like find it real quick. But that song was actually originally just gonna be me and Emmy, and then I mean I just never really got his verse, and so and then all of a sudden just Snoozy wanted to be on it, and then like oh like Lil Pinecone and Hood Guy
Fury,
and
White Fury. He
Fury
was
and
on
all
the
that shit.
yeah.
It just became a huge thing, and I thought it was really cool. And then there was the EP.
Yeah, the EP. What
Uh,
I kind of forget what it even was.
so the actual title is "Nothing Happens for a Reason," but my original title was "Change of Pace EP," and people kind of made fun of that. It's kind of meme. So it's I had to slash it, "Change of Pace," but it's basically like it's called "Change of Pace EP," really.
What was the what was the reasoning for the meme of change of pace? And I really got me aside from
I
the
think they
cover
just thought
art.
because it was a stupid. I guess they just thought it was a stupid name, just like "Change of Pace EP." Like fuck out of here with that over dramatic shit.
Yeah. So
But
that came out and
it came out like on the same premiere as Waves
Race Forever.
fucking Waves Forever, yeah. It came out the same night, which is a really interesting night.
Really interesting night.
But so that EP I kind of was like moving in a slight different direction in my mind. We'll get to on like the next project. I thought about making a bullshit mixtape for a while, but I was like in the meantime, I'm just because I'm listening to more cloud rap and more that type of vibey music. I kind of want to just make vibe want to just make vibey music, and it's probably my most forgettable album, but I mean EP, but I don't think it's like bad. I think it's all right. Like especially songs like Sapphire and What's the Hurry, but it's one of those things. I know Innerbrain said it best. It kind of sounds like what was that one Painted McKnight album? Oh, I
Uh,
Night Radio.
I Night
He kind of
Radio.
said it sounds like I Night Radio, but not as corny. And that's basically kind of it. I just made it some vibey music. That was like around the time we started like moving houses and all that. So it was an interesting period, especially moving and all that.
Yeah. So then we get I'm pretty sure this happens like I think this happened a few weeks after, or like a month after. We get the the mixtape, the infamous mixtape, Dion.
Oh man, Dion.
All right, so
Easily.
the process. What was the process of behind making this this fascinating mixtape known as Dion?
Man, Dion has a lot to talk about. Easily the most interesting experience I've had in this rap career. So like I said earlier, I was thinking about making a like bullshit mixtape, almost like a "what the fuck am I doing" type shit. But it sounds a little bit different. But I'll get to more of that. And I just while I was making the Vibey EP, I realized like, wait a minute, I haven't really done anything about it. And basically, what happened was I started making a bunch of ridiculous song titles on my notes app, just ridiculous song titles, just for the hell of it. I know Snoozy had some suggestions, Jorge, Hood Guy, a couple, probably Twisted as well. So how that happened was because I kept telling them I was gonna make a bullshit mixtape, but it never happened. They kind of essentially is like, dude, you're gonna make this shit, and I was like, all right. So basically, what happened was the whole mixtape was made in 10 days, and it's 31 songs. So how it was, because it was made at 10 days, I made like 3 songs a night. And what happened was, whether whose turn, whether it was Twisted's, Jorge's, and Snoozy's, they all had turns to pick a song title that they wanted me to make, and I would make it. And essentially, if whatever song title they said, I had to make the song, look up the type beat, and make the song that night. The whole thing was completely freestyle. The only thing that was even written was Homies 2, but I even then I kind of wrote it pretty quickly. It was essentially 31 songs of just complete freestyles. And
Interesting.
and also how that album cover was like a selfie of me drunk, like really drunk at a bar, and like Twisted just put a bunch of edits and all that, and how the album cover, like what the name is Dion. People, it's kind of like a sort of we were thinking about names because I was struggling to think of a title for it, and I don't know, I forgot who said it, but someone just said like, "What if we just call it Dion?" And I'm like, "Why?" I guess it was we were looking at football and Deion Sanders highlights, and yeah, just called it Dion and just dropped it. There was no cuts, like no scraps from this mixtape. It's basically an album at this point because there's also a deluxe, but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
And
and the
yeah, it was
reissue.
there's oh my god, there's so many versions of Dion on SoundCloud. The streaming version is 20 songs because we wanted to essentially be the director's cut on streaming. You get the best of it because I'll say this, there are definitely songs that are better than others. I'll just say that. It's what the fuck am I doing was very abrasive. This one is more like actual songs, but also autistic songs. That's basically what you're getting. So it's does not that feel it doesn't feel that much different considering the fact that what the fuck am I doing was like 26 minutes and Dion is almost an hour and a half.
Yes.
You oh
um.
man.
So what was the next version of Dion released?
Well, there was a bunch of different versions, but then the deluxe happened. That's what happened.
How about the reissue?
Oh, so yeah, the original Dion is 31 songs, and the reissue, the director's cut on streaming is 20 songs.
I
There's
guess that's
like
that version.
Norman's, yeah, yeah. What the 20 track one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just had to cut some songs. We essentially it was like, okay, we need to make the best version Dion can be and just put it on streaming, and that's kind of how we did. There were some songs that could have made it, like Super Duper Wacky Bus, which is an infamous one on Dion. It has its few defenders, but those defenders are loud, very loud.
So then, yeah, then there's the deluxe, and that had how many new songs?
8.
8 new songs, and I guess they were just made in the same way as all the other songs.
So essentially, yeah, but those were made after Dion came out,
Yeah.
and but before I get the deluxe, what happened before? So the initial reaction to Dion was very, very mixed. Some people loved it, and some people thought it was fucking terrible, which is honestly makes sense. And then it was around December when Brad started being in the calls. They played some songs from Dion to him, and it got him to review the whole album. It's mixtape, but I'm calling it an album. And it was a pretty mixed review. He said it was like a generous 5, which is kind of insane that he wouldn't give this a 5. But and then what happened was he started to play the songs a lot in the streams, and then it has easily my biggest songs, "Why Can I Say It," which is as of now the 5th most viewed video on the Flex channel, and it's been out for almost 4 months, which is insane. It kind of became a whole Bradcore thing now, which is hilarious. But then what happened was like, oh yeah, I gotta make a deluxe, and it wasn't. I don't even think they had much turns with. No, they had turns with it. It just wasn't as significant because it's only 8 songs instead of 31. But I think they picked a couple. I might have picked a couple myself. They kind of just capitalized on the attention that I've gotten, and so yeah, I just made those songs like "Gay Banana," which Jorge
Gay Banana.
definitely does not like that song at all. But "Too Cold 2" was like a reference to Vanilla Ice's "Too Cold" like metal shit, and we thought it'd be funny just to make like a Limp Bizkit ass Vanilla Ice metal shit. And yeah, I gotta say, I would say if I had to say my favorite songs of the deluxe, I would say "Gay Banana." Fucking Narc, I think, is really underrated with the J Station
Fucking narc.
reference sample. Um, oh, Get Back Here was definitely always one of my favorite ones.
All
Yeah,
right. So
overall, it had a pretty positive reaction.
all right. So then we get to the most recent release. I believe it's another EP, and it's called "I Have AIDS."
Oh no, I have AIDS. Oh no, 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 no.
The now I kind of know about the I have AIDS inside joke because it had happened like a whole year before, and then it randomly like came up again, and then I think that's where the CP came from.
So how this happened? Obviously, there was one point I was called I have AIDS on Discord for a bit because it was I thought I was funny. But even do you remember when we sometimes we our profile pics would be like dictators?
Yeah.
I think I was like Osama bin Laden at one point, just posting Muhammad shit. It was so ridiculous. It was it was fucking stupid, but it was pretty funny. But so the I have AZP, I brought it back because I just wanted to change it again and remind some people about it. Except it was a different profile pic, but
So you
I
had
have
the
AIDS.
wait, so you had the I have AIDS EP idea for a year then, like it's some.
Fun fact, no, I never thought about making like
Oh wait,
music.
wait no, oh wait no, that was no. I'm thinking about the the fucking Discord name. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh no, it was just a name thing. I never thought about like making music. The only reason what happened is on my album of the year page, all of a sudden it shows like a project called I Have AIDS, which is not a release thing. It was one of those like troll album of the year releases, like Beetle Bass Desires
Yep, and Tending
and shit.
Balls 69,
Tending
Mike's
Ball,
Fun
you
Adventure
gotta make
3.
Tending Ball 69 now. You gotta
Uh,
make that shit, man. Because it was on my album of the year page, and I was thinking to myself, you know, any normal person would just look at that as like, this is stupid. I'm not gonna make it. I just made it. It's like, fuck it. I got nothing better to do, and I just made it. Yeah,
well,
I made.
I won't spoil anything, but I am trying to work on something. It isn't Tending Ball 69, but
Mm.
you'll find out eventually.
Oh, bet that sounds
I don't,
fire.
I don't know how soon, but you will know eventually.
Oh shit, yeah, and that's with the Ontario's EP that's coming up, the collab EP.
Yeah, the collab EP that is releasing this Friday.
Boom, listen to that shit. But and
Ontario Trap
basically
Stars with Searsy and Cough Drop. Yep.
yep, oh yeah, that EP, yep. But to the I Have AIDS EP, I made most of that in a day. In the whole EP was basically done in a day, but I just re-recorded some stuff the next day, and it's caused some of my most memeable songs, like "Happy Days," which is probably one of the worst things I've ever done. And that's with songs like Among Us Freestyle on my channel and a private song called oh god,
I
what
think
was
I
it
also
called?
made a song called Among Us Freestyle, like back in
Yeah,
2020.
you did.
It
You
was
made
a
your own television, and then I made my own television
yeah, it was
from like a
a
couple years ago.
yeah. Oh yeah, I did do
And
that too. Yeah, I made Among Us Freestyle. It was a Lego Bikers release. You know,
mm,
actually, no, I didn't even speak on Lego Bikers in my interview. Probably because Squeaky didn't ask about it or I didn't bring it up. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's probably like information that people probably forgot about.
I think I might have brought it up in the very first episode of the show where I did the Legoland interview.
Yeah, but like, oh shit, what was? Oh yeah, the fucking I had yeah, the I have AZP with some shit is like Happy Days being probably my most goofy song because Jorge wanted me to rap over Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney and the Wings. No, it's just Paul McCartney. But yeah, I basically made that, and one of my personal underrated songs that is one of my favorites, "Enemies," "Enemies," because it's literally just a fucked up version of "Homies," and just me talking about how much I hate my friends. Like I thought that shit was actually hilarious, and Markiplier diss track, which is literally just going on a trap metal type beat, just me singing nursery rhymes over it. So it was so fucking dog shit. But any normal person would make that EP, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't regret it. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if I'm gonna put that shit on streaming though, because that'd be outrageous.
Yeah. So then, well, I guess that's it for now.
Yeah, I will. I do some other things. I'm kind of in the middle of like making an album, but slowly gotta like ease my way to it, get some beats and rap over, probably get some features. This album was kind of, I would say, more. It's been a while since there was any progress because some people like kind of like left and all that. It's kind of like on the shelf, and then now I'm bringing it back. I'm making that album. Uh, I'm probably gonna make some more like memeable shit. I am gonna make the song Jorge wants me to make so bad. The my shirt ain't look too no, my shirt ain't look so bad now do it. I'm gonna make that shit. But yeah, got my volumes 5 stuff. And yeah, like that's
I
what
gotta
I'm like
get
making right now.
I gotta get my Volume 5 stuff soon.
Oh yeah.
I got like 3
Oh
different
yeah,
submissions I'm working on.
oh, yeah, and like way better than my volume 4 submissions. That shit was fucking ass.
Yeah. So this was the Royal Flush interview. It actually lasted a bit longer than I actually was expecting to. On 35 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's just like I definitely had a lot more shit to talk about because like the origins and shit. I definitely have some people who think my music is weird. There's some people that I know online who's play that shit in like Chile and all that and shit. This is wild, like anytime. And there's even Dion CDs now. Oh, one thing I'll say is like Lorenzo's story from Gatman and Robins, and that thing was pretty much made as like we just wanted to make like rock shit, and that's kind of what we did. And it was that and Juvenalia at the time. I wasn't in the band though, even though Jorge, fuck you, Jorge, sang that Max Landis. All right, first of all, motherfucker, I don't need Gatman and Robins, but yeah, that was a fun experience. And now there's Dion CDs and shit. And also the last thing I'll say, do you remember when I was making the video for women and I got the whole channel strikes?
I don't think I don't I might have not have been there for that.
Yeah, I just got like the channel strike from that women video, and I kind of fucked up Juvenalia's chance to get to the Flex channel, but yeah, that was hilarious.
Damn.
But yeah, but yeah, like all the shit that I'm making now is kind of like what I'm focused on. I'm kind of slowing down just a little bit because like I released a lot of music in a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah. So that concludes. I think. Anything else?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So that concludes the Royal Flush interview. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to tune in for some more episodes on the way. Those are going to keep coming. And remember to listen to Ontario Trap Stars as it's releasing this Friday. And also
Hey,
go follow Royal Flush. Go listen to his shit as well.
follow my shit. Stream Dion. Stream Bill Cosby. Emotional.
All right. But one last message you have for the viewers.
Hey, listen. You either if you ain't fucking bitches and getting money, you ain't doing shit. Nah, I'm playing. Make what you want to make. Nobody, not everyone needs to understand. Have fun with it. You know, because at the end of the day, it's like a hobby. It's not, my real life thing. Have fun with it.
Yes, sir. All right. Peace out, everyone.